On a cold December night along I-540 near the Oklahoma border, a black Chevrolet Corvette streaked past like a bullet, its taillights glowing red for only a second before disappearing into the horizon. The radar lit up, 100 miles per hour. But that was only the beginning. Peavehouse floored his cruiser, engine howling as he accelerated through the midnight air. The pursuit was on. Ahead of him, the Corvette carved through lanes like a phantom, every downshift sparking fire from the asphalt. The officer called it in, his voice steady but strained, reporting speeds no police vehicle should ever attempt. 110, 120, 140 miles per hour. The Supercar wasn't fleeing anymore. It was ascending.
Good. I'm at the Circle K here on C71.
Give me 21 when you get the train.
Now, Schmidt, 1037. Eastbound on 0.
Traffic was light, just streaks of headlights flashing past, but every turn held the potential for disaster. One wrong twitch of the steering wheel could have turned the chase into a massacre. The Corvette's driver wasn't just fast, he was precise, calculating, daring the officer to match him. For minutes that felt like hours, the two vehicles danced on the razor's edge of catastrophe. Then, as they crested a hill, the Corvette vanished. Not slowed, not stopped. Gone. The trooper's headlights cut across the empty road, the sound of his own tires filling the void. Somewhere ahead, the driver had either turned off unseen or disappeared into the black distance.
A lot of traffic. I've still got him inside, so he's going probably 140 by now. I'm at a little bridge here.
I'm coming. I'm about to take 0.
Peavehouse slowed, scanning the tree line and side roads, but the sports car had melted into the night. Reinforcements arrived, sweeping nearby exits and parking lots. Nothing. The suspect had outrun not only the police, but the odds themselves. The Corvette was a ghost, a blur erased by the dark. When the officer checked the license plate he'd managed to glimpse before the car disappeared, he found one more twist. The plate was temporary, likely fake. The trail went cold as quickly as it began.
10-4 southbound on Maryland.
He could be going to 549 or trying to get back to Oklahoma. I'm not sure.
CFS comments added.
Yeah, I got people pointing. He hit himself on my lord. If I can get a unit up to 549, we might cut him off.
Back at the station, the footage played in silence. The Corvette's engine screamed through the speakers, an echo of arrogance and adrenaline. For the officer, it was a chase without a finish. For the driver, it was a victory he'd probably never stop bragging about. But every racer knows the truth. No one outruns luck forever. On another night, on another stretch of road, the same speed that saved him could just as easily bury him. Case 3, the final ride of Elliot Dugan. It was just before dawn in Los Angeles, the hour when even the city's chaos seems to rest. The streets of West Valley were still, the air heavy with exhaust and silence. That calm ended the moment officers pulled up beside a white Lamborghini Huracan idling at a red light. Behind the tinted glass, the driver was motionless, not calm, not waiting, asleep.
How's it going, man?
Good.
You have a driver's license on you? And registration for the vehicle? Is the vehicle apart? Yeah?
51-year-old Elliot Dugan had passed out behind the wheel of a stolen $250,000 supercar. To any onlooker, it was absurd. A man asleep inside a vehicle worth more than most houses, glowing beneath the streetlights like a piece of art in the wrong hands. When the police lights flicked on, the Lamborghini's V10 engine growled awake, like an animal stirred from a dream. Dugan lifted his head, dazed and confused. He spoke slowly, slurring words, his mind fogged by exhaustion or worse. But when officers ran his name, the calm evaporated. Multiple felony warrants, a stolen luxury car, and a driver who had no intention of surrendering quietly.
Hey, Hey, sir. Can you do a favor? Can you step out of the car for me? What's going on? I just need to verify your license, man. That's it. Huh? I need to verify it. I need you to step out of the car for me.
The officers tried to keep him calm, tried to make it simple. Step out, talk, cooperate. But inside that Lamborghini, Elliot Dugan's heartbeat began to drown out reason. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was panic. Whatever it was, he pressed the accelerator. The Lamborghini shot forward like lightning, its tires shrieking across the asphalt. Police sirens wailed to life, the chase erupting through the city's sleeping streets. Streetlights blurred past as the car's speedometer climbed over 100 miles per hour. It was a spectacle of power and inevitability.
This was a regular traffic stop and it turned into something else.
What is it?
This vehicle is stolen. I need you to come out of the car. This vehicle that you're driving is stolen.
I rented this vehicle, sir.
Okay, I need you to step out of the vehicle.
I rented this vehicle.
Okay, well, we need to double check and verify things, but I need you out of the vehicle. It is stolen. Hey, stop!
For several miles, Dugan fought the steering wheel, weaving between lanes, the rear tires slipping against the road's uneven surface. Every second brought him closer to losing control. And then, it happened. At over 100 miles per hour, he clipped the median. The car lifted, twisted, and tore through a row of trees. What was once a masterpiece of Italian engineering became an unrecognizable wreck.
Let me have the frequency. Vehicle is TC, major TC damage. Let me get an RA starting to roll. I need traffic shut down for westbound traffic on Sherman Way.
The impact was so violent that Dugan's body was thrown several hundred feet from the crash site. By the time officers reached him, there was nothing left to save. The stolen Lamborghini was reduced to scrap metal, and its driver's final joyride ended in silence. The tragedy was cruelly poetic. A man who sought thrill, freedom, and escape, dying inside the very machine he stole to feel alive. Case 4, the Moscow Nissan that wouldn't stop. Moscow, August 2013. The traffic was thick, and the skyline a mix of cold glass and Soviet concrete. Amid that gray monotony, a flash of green tore through the lanes. A mint-colored Nissan GT-R, engine screaming, refusing to yield. The city's police spotted it weaving through cars like a bullet ricocheting down a steel corridor. They hit their sirens, expecting the driver to slow. He didn't. Instead, he doubled down. The GTR wasn't just fast, it was feral. The twin-turbo engine roared as the car sliced between commuters, mirrors grazing bumpers, tires leaving faint trails of smoke. The pursuing officer's dashboard light glared against the wet pavement, but the green blur ahead never faltered. Each red light was a dare, each turn an insult. Moscow's orderly traffic disintegrated into panic as the chase charged through the city's heart.
327, 327, делаем остановочку вправо делаем, 327, на обочину останавливаемся, 327, на обочину останавливаемся, аккуратненько, делаем остановочку вправо.
In the passenger seat of the patrol car, another officer recorded the pursuit on a phone. Russia's police lacked dash cams then, but they didn't need one to capture the madness. The recording showed the GTR bursting forward again and again, its tail end fishtailing under raw power. Through tinted windows, the driver appeared calm, detached, almost rehearsed. Online sleuths later slowed the video down and noticed something strange, a vanity plate on the dashboard that read Tequila, the stage name of Russian rapper Alexander Tarasov. Fans speculated it was no coincidence, that the whole chase was staged, a stunt for attention, maybe even a music video gone rogue. The sleek car, the designer sunglasses, the defiant smirk, it all fit the image. But even publicity has its limits. The chase cut across intersections at lethal speeds, pedestrians scrambling to the sidewalks, horns blaring in fury. For 8 chaotic minutes, the city became a racetrack. And then, as suddenly as it began, the GTR slowed. The driver rolled down his window, gesturing at the police car as if mocking them. Later, some claimed he apologized, saying he couldn't hear the sirens over his music.
Я не слышал, музыка играла.
Whether it was arrogance or theatrics, no one could say for sure. What's clear is that Moscow had just witnessed one of its most reckless displays of power and privilege, a man using a machine of beauty as a weapon of ego. The driver was never officially charged. The internet moved on, the rumors faded, but the clip still circulates, a reminder that in some corners of the world, fame and horsepower can make even the law look slow. Number 5. The Midnight Camaro. It was a moonless night in rural Arkansas, the kind of darkness that swallowed sound and stretched the road into infinity. Just past midnight, Trooper Jacob Price sat in his patrol car, headlights off, waiting. The radio crackled. Reports of a suspicious black Camaro prowling the area. Minutes later, his instincts proved right. 2 glowing taillights appeared in the distance, slicing through the dark like the eyes of a predator. Price pulled onto the road, following quietly at first. The Camaro drifted between lanes, its driver erratic, daring. When the trooper hit his lights, the response came instantly. The Camaro surged forward. The chase had begun. Both engines screamed into the night. The Camaro was fast, too fast. At 130 miles per hour, the black muscle car devoured the road ahead, its engine roaring like thunder trapped inside metal. Trooper Price's cruiser strained to keep up, the speedometer edging toward its limits. For a moment, the only sound on the highway was the wail of pursuit, siren against horsepower, order against chaos. The chase stretched across desolate stretches of asphalt, where streetlights gave way to darkness. The suspect used the open space like a weapon, weaving across lanes, pushing his luck at every bend. But every gambler runs out of time. As the road narrowed near a gas station, the Camaro nearly clipped a truck. Its back end fishtailed, sparks flying from the pavement. Somehow the driver regained control, accelerating again into the black. Price stayed relentless. He knew that if he backed off, someone else could die on this road. His patience became his weapon. He didn't try to ram or cut him off. He waited. He watched. He calculated. Then finally, the Camaro faltered. Its engine coughed under the strain, tires shrieking against gravel as the car swerved into a ditch. In a blur of dust and headlights, Trooper Price ended it. The cruiser skidded to a halt. The trooper stepped out, weapon drawn, breath heavy. The suspect raised his hands, trembling, surrounded by the roar of his own engine slowly dying.
Okay, I pitted him out. He's in the ditch.
No one spoke. The night swallowed their silence whole. When the dust settled, the driver was cuffed, charged, and taken away. His name never made the news. Just another ghost in the long list of people who mistook speed for power. The Camaro was hauled away, mangled and silent. For Trooper Price, it was another chase survived. For the driver, it was a brief taste of freedom, one paid for in the ruins of his pride. Case 6. The Street Racers of Arkansas, late October 2022. The Arkansas highway shimmered beneath the glow of sodium lamps, empty but alive with sound. The air carried the low growl of 3 engines, 2 Dodge Challenger SRTs and a Mustang GT, lining up side by side. The drivers weren't just speeding, they were performing, staging a high-speed spectacle on an open road they thought belonged to them. Miles behind, Trooper Nathan Williams spotted them. His radar flashed 120 miles per hour, 3 shadows weaving through the night like comets. He knew he couldn't stop them all, but one was enough. He flicked on his headlights and began to follow, quiet and patient, letting their arrogance pull them deeper into the trap. The racers thundered down the highway, switching lanes like dancers in a deadly rhythm. Their taillights pulsed red through the darkness, as if mocking the law itself. Williams stayed close enough to see them, far enough not to spook them. He waited until he was sure. Then the blue lights came alive. Instant panic. One car slowed, a Challenger. The Mustang hesitated, but the white Dodge SRT at the front refused to surrender. It accelerated, engine screaming, speedometer pushing beyond 150. The officer pressed forward, his own vehicle trembling under the strain. The 2 cars tore through the night, a blur of speed and desperation. Williams's body camera later captured the chase, the shaking frame, the blur of headlights, the endless roar of pursuit. The suspect was fearless, or foolish. Every second increased the risk of disaster, one wrong twitch away from a wall of steel and flame. But speed, like arrogance, burns out fast. The suspect exited the highway, veering off onto a side road that snaked between apartment complexes. The supercar slowed just enough for Williams to get what he needed: the license plate. Within seconds, the white Dodge disappeared into the darkness, gone before backup could arrive. For now. Hours later, that plate led officers to a nearby complex. The car sat parked, still warm. Its owner wasn't behind the wheel this time, but inside, silent, knowing what awaited him. The vehicle was impounded, and the investigation began. The joyride was over. Arkansas law calls street racing a Class A misdemeanor, a small phrase for a massive crime.
His hit's 150, a lot faster than mine, so he created a big gap on me. And then when he took the Maumelle exit, he about killed himself.
My supervisor's like, hey, you scanning? Well, I saw y'all go by. I was sitting at McDonald's.
A year in jail, thousands in fines, and a permanent mark on the record. But for these racers, punishment came the moment they realized their greatest victory. Speed was also their biggest betrayal. On that long stretch of Arkansas highway, 3 engines became 3 warnings. No one outruns consequences forever.